Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Thank you so much for coming over to my video and checking me out. I'm really excited to meet all of you guys and just get to know you the more videos I make. So today's video is going to be about Suboxone and my experience being on Suboxone. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please take a minute, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that way you can be made aware when I upload. So just remember, you guys, this is my subjective experience. Your experience might be different, but that doesn't make either one of our experiences wrong. We are just different people, so keep that in mind. And if you have young children, they shouldn't be around listening to this because this isn't anything for them to be hearing about, you know. So let's go ahead and carry on, and I'm going to kind of give you guys the lowdown on what it was like for me when I got prescribed Suboxone, how I got prescribed Suboxone, and why. So first of all, I'm an addict, and I've been in recovery for 3 years. I was a drug addict for about 13 years of my life, from the time I was about 17 to the time I was about 32 and a half. I struggled with polysubstance abuse, which I would use multiple substances. I was addicted to methamphetamine. I was addicted to IV oxycodone. I was addicted to IV cocaine. I was addicted to Xanax. I was addicted to alcohol. And I would mix those substances, or I would trade one for the other, just always trying to find that perfect balance where I wouldn't mess my life up, and that never happened. So going through my life, I had tried to sober up for so many times, you guys. From about the time I realized I was an addict was when I got a felony when I was like 20 something. And that was when I realized I had a problem and that I probably needed to seek help. And that's when I started to seek help. But I would go in and out of treatment centers. I had been to 5, and I would relapse. And the longest I think I ever had sober was 9 months, but it wasn't clicking for me. I was really struggling to put together any amount of time, and I just couldn't stay sober. So fast forward to this time, and about 3 years ago, I was in the depths of my addiction, probably the worst it had ever been. I was IVing roxycodone every single day and IVing methamphetamine every single day. I decided that I needed help. I went into detox, and they actually used Suboxone to detox me off of Roxy. And it was a really quick experience. They gave me one at the beginning for a 5-day period until I was down to 0. And then I got out and went to treatment for 30 days. Now, my withdrawals weren't over with, but when I got to the treatment center, I was really just wanted to sleep. I was really depressed. I was going through benzo withdrawal also. But the diarrhea and hot and cold sweats subsided after about 10 days. So I had already been there, been in detox for 5. So another 5 days, and I was kind of over the opiate withdrawal part. When I went through treatment, I got out after being there for 30 days and had 30 days, I got out, and I wanted to get high so bad, you guys. And I had so much riding on my recovery. At this time, my son had been removed from my care by the Department of Human Services, and I knew that if I relapsed, I would get my son taken forever, and I was not going to do that. I did not want to lose my son. So when I got out of treatment, I went to get put on Suboxone, and I'm going to explain to you guys the protocol, what I had to go through to get prescribed Suboxone, and what my experience was like when I first took it. So I drove straight to the doctor's office, and there's a clinic here in the town that I live in, and many people go to it. And the doctor who oversees that clinic was the doctor at the treatment center that I was in for 30 days. So he was already really familiar with me. He had recommended that I try Suboxone while I was in treatment, but we didn't want to start anything until I had gotten out. And I wasn't sure I wanted to, you guys. Like, I was really scared, and I had a really bad misconception of what Suboxone was and what it would do to me. So I thought that I was going to be like, I don't know. I had that thinking that I was trading my addiction, and in fact, that's just the exact opposite. I became dependent on the medication, but I wasn't trading my addiction because I no longer practice those addictive behaviors. So I went in to see the doctor, and they gave me a physical. They took my vitals. They drug tested me. They had me sit down and talk to a psychologist, and Nathaniel, what? Be quiet, please. They had me talk to a psychiatrist and kind of evaluate my headspace, and made sure that my liver and everything was functioning correctly. And when those tests came back, the next day they called me in and they started me on my first dose. And the way it worked at this clinic was they would dose me at the clinic for the first week. And then after that first week, they would give me a prescription for 1 week at a time. And each week I would come in and I would meet with a group, and we would do group therapy. And that really, really helped me at the beginning, because it helped me to be accountable for my dose, and it helped me to learn how to take my medication responsibly. Because in my addict brain was telling me, well, if I take more, then it'll make me feel better. And that's actually the exact opposite with Suboxone. So I started my dosing, and I would go in and I would dose once a day in the morning, and then it would hold me all the way to the next day. So the first time I ever took Suboxone at the clinic, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I have been sober for 30 days. How is this going to affect me? This is really going to mess me up, you know? And in fact, the first day, it took about 3 days for my body to level out and get used to the medication. But when I first took it, it made me really, really tired. It made me, you know, like kind of naughty. But I just went home and I slept, you know, but I could feel the effects of the medication for those first 3 days. And at first I was like, is this what it's going to feel like all the time? Because I can't work like this, because it was really making me tired and sleepy, you know? Well, so I got the medication, and they started prescribing me the medication, so I would take home 7 days worth, you know, once a week. And I would go into my group therapy, and we would talk about the problems that we were having in our recovery, and just building that consistency, and going in every day and seeing them, and going in once a week and seeing them. And then I moved up to bi-weekly, and then I moved up to monthly, and then I moved up to quarterly, which was a blessing, because it's $200 every time you visit, you know. So and my medication's paid for through my insurance, but I still have to pay for the doctor's visit, which I think that's going to change soon, because I think insurance is going to start paying for those treatments at the doctor. So I want to explain to you guys like how I felt when I first started taking it, what I experienced from other people, what they thought about me taking it. And because I think that if you're on Suboxone, or you're thinking about getting on it, that you might go through some of the same things I went through. So when I first got on Suboxone and I started to share that I was on Suboxone, a lot of people looked at me and said, well, you're not sober, you're not clean. And that really hurt my heart at first, because they didn't understand. And really, recovery is what you make it, you know. And to me, as long as I'm not acting out addictively, and I'm practicing, you know, doing the next right thing every day, then I'm in recovery. I'm living my sober life. But a lot of people that don't understand Suboxone will think otherwise. Somebody who's on Suboxone and takes it as prescribed every day will be dependent on their medication.
The dime inside your phone.
Okay. Will be dependent on their medication. People, but they will not practice their addictive behaviors. Like, I could not stop my medication cold turkey, because if I did, I would go into withdrawal. But I can, in fact, have my doctor taper me and do a slow taper, and then I can get off the medication, you know? Is it scary to me to think about tapering? Yes, because I've gotten so used to taking this medication, and it helps me. It really does. It does help me. And I want to be honest with you guys. I've really experienced a lot of bias and kind of prejudice when I talk to people that are in recovery that have been abstinent and don't use drugs or alcohol and nothing else to help them. And that at first was really, really hard for me, because I just want to be accepted. You know, I just want people to like me. I just want to be a part of the group. And here is another thing that I have that makes me different than everyone else, that makes me not part of. And that's how I felt at first. And if you're feeling that way, I understand. You know, Eli's here, Nate. Because I felt that way too. But you're not alone. And I've been through the exact same thing. Side effects of Suboxone. You know, I'm not sure that the side effects or the things that I'm experiencing are from Suboxone, because I'm also on 2 mental health medications. I'm on Wellbutrin and I'm on Lexapro. So those also cause side effects. Downstairs, Nate. I have gained weight since I got on Suboxone and Lexapro. So that could be, you know, from Lexapro also, because it also causes weight gain. Constipation. But what I do now is I eat lots of fiber, and I take Miralax in the evening, and I drink it in my water. And so that way when I wake up in the morning, it's great. I go to the bathroom regularly. Sweating. Oh my gosh, the sweating. But there is a medication that you can ask your doctor for, and they can prescribe it to you to help you with the sweating. I'm trying to think if there's any other side effects. I've been on it for 3 years, so I don't notice like any other side effects like that. I have noticed a lack of motivation, but I've also know that can be caused from my Lexapro. And I'm tapering off of my Lexapro because I am in fact on Wellbutrin, and I could just stay on that, and it's supposed to counteract that like lack of motivation and that sluggish feeling. Suboxone is a great, great thing, you guys. It's helping so many people who are struggling with a disease of addiction. And if you're on Suboxone, I just want you to know that I'm here for you, and I've been through everything there is to go through, and that we can do this together, you know. One thing I've learned is not to let anybody rush me into tapering. I will know when I'm ready, and to take it one day at a time. My addiction was I was in my addiction for many years, 12 or 13 years. I'm not going to change overnight, and I'm not going to be able to get my life in order overnight, you know. In these last 3 years, my whole life has changed, and things are so much better now. But I still have so much internal work to do. And Suboxone gives me the leeway to be able to do those things and not worry about my mind telling me I need opiates, which has been a blessing. Would I go on Suboxone if I knew everything I know now? Yes. Would I stay on it like I have? Yes, because it has literally helped me change my life. Now, I can't give Suboxone all the credit because I am very, very active in AA, and I really love the program. I'm also really big into Celebrate Recovery, and I practice those principles in my life. And therapy is the #1 thing I feel like, too, that has helped me. Therapy, the 12 steps, and Suboxone. Talking to someone else and letting them know how you feel and what you're going through will change your life. Because getting sober, you can't do it alone. It is absolutely impossible. I've tried a million times. The disease of addiction centers in our mind. And the mind is a powerful thing, and it will tell you things that aren't true. And that you need to do things like not tell anyone and hide it, keep it a secret, be ashamed, feel guilty. And those things are all your addiction. So I hope that this video helped you guys. that's my experience on Suboxone. That's my experience with Suboxone. I take my Suboxone as it's prescribed once a day, every morning at the same time. I don't experience any euphoria from it. It's just been a really good tool for me to use. And, you know, one day when I decide to taper, I will absolutely vlog every minute of it so you guys can see. Hopefully by then I'll have a really nice setup and we can just set up a camera in my room and you guys can watch me go through it. But I just wanted to share with you guys, if you're thinking about getting on Suboxone or you're already on it, just know you're not alone. If you need any help or advice, you can message me. I will link my email in the description box. And yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope you have a great day. Please subscribe to my channel. Share this video with anybody that you know is struggling or might be thinking about getting on Suboxone. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I absolutely can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye.